This is their pond. When we moved here in 1978, it was already installed. It's concrete. It was dug out, and it was totally a concrete pond. In the middle, it's probably between 18 inches and 24 inches, depending on how much rain we've had. The dogs next door have realized I'm in my yard, and they don't like it. We've had to upgrade the bridge a couple times. That's my submergible pump. The reason it's not in the water giving them air and aerating the water is because my wire cage that I made for it to keep the stuff from clogging it up that it would be sitting in went bad last year, and I haven't made a new one. If you do have a pond that's got a bridge on it and you feed them, which you almost have to, when I come on the bridge, I stamp my feet. And then I sprinkle out some fish food. They're a little slow because it isn't that warm. When you see the water really jump, there are some black ones in here. They're very hard to see without the sun on them. But there's one right in the center of the screen. And they'll come up and eat this. If you do this all you want, every time you feed them, when you stomp on the bridge, if you feed them on this side, they will show up on this side. We've got a fair amount, so I do it a little bit on both sides. We've had up to 120 to 150 in here. We'll go around and pick up the leaves that are in that and find the eggs and put them in an aquarium in our gazebo and give them a little air pump working to aerate the water and a temperature deal to keep it at about 70 degrees, and they'll hatch out. They hatch out in the pond, and the adults eat most of them. And one year we went on vacation, we came back, we had all kinds of bird waste, especially on the top of that roof. Big splotches, I mean softball size. Came out to feed my fish. I didn't have many. And my neighbor said that a nice old big blue heron came in here and worked it over pretty good. And I think that heron took probably 80 to 100 fish out of here. And we had to start back again. We bought these as young ones because they're sort of expensive to buy 80 or 100 fish that's a size to them. And that was probably 5-6 years ago. So all these fish were put in here right after that. There's a white one or two in here, but they're hiding right now. I'll take you back over here. And that's the aquarium we hatch them out in. Did hatch them out in that aquarium, but we needed one that was a little deeper, because sometimes you had a good hatch, you'll have several hundred of them. Anyway, maybe this will help you if you've got fish in a pond. That's what grapes look like when they set. I'll give you some idea how big that cluster is. And that's a pretty good set on a grape. When they look fuzzy like this, you can look, a lot of them didn't set. The tomatoes are growing. You can see it's a cloudy day. I had to put a 2x4 on the side this edge because they were hitting the top. So they're probably, I don't know, 55, 56 days old. And I'd say they're pushing 28, 30 inches tall. What I like is about 36. That's the cover I usually keep on them. That way, when they get to the top, I know it's time to put them in the garden at the river. I'm working on pots today. There's a grapevine I grew from last year, pruning. There's another grapevine I grew from last year's pruning, and I got to get those in the ground. I'm cleaning up all my pots. I've cleaned that one off. Cleaned the ones off I put in the gazebo. And like this one, it'll be a lot prettier once I get all the dead off. And if you have any that have a leaf, that just shows that plant at one time got dry. Let me get it in the view. It got dry, and it dried out, and the tip of the leaf is the first thing to be affected. You can see several of them that way. And all you have to do is come out here with a sharp pair of scissors, and I generally just cut it on an angle, and nobody really pay attention to it and see that you cut off the end.